Hey there, Naginis, it's your old pal Mike here, just to let you know to keep listening towards the end of the show, or rather at the end of the show this week, past the end music, for a post-credits extravaganza. Now, me and Andy have been working hard on this for the last few weeks now, just to get it all tip-top and perfect for you. So, I won't tell you exactly what it is, you'll just have to keep listening and find out. There's only one tiny clue that I will give you, though, which is goosh. Enjoy the show.
Now you sound like a sexist.
I sound like a sexist. Why? On
Twitter.
Yeah.
Don't glam up.
I'm just wondering if she's run off to fucking put makeup and shit on. She didn't need to. That's the great part about audio work, is like you don't have to do shit, you know what I mean? So I'm just in my boxes, you know what I mean? So
Well, I'm naked.
Now, when I've come to like...
It's a pity that this isn't actually a part of the show.
It's alright, it can always be the pre-credits.
They came like a bolt out of the blue to discuss everything in geekdom. When Andy and Mike get together, it is the attack of the 50-foot nerds.
Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast. My name is Mike Bell, and with me is my cornucopia of imbecility co-host.
Whatever that means.
This is where you say your name.
I'm sorry, I thought I was interrupting you mid-sentence.
No.
I'm Andy Weirs.
That's him. Okay, and...
as everyone probably guessed.
We all know by now, yeah.
I am actually Mike Bell.
My God. Well, if you're Mike Bell, who am I? Do I exist in the mind of some kind of space chicken? I don't know.
It's the government!
I was frozen today!
Oh, God almighty. How come every time we start the show, we always go on a tangent, literally 4 seconds in? How does that work? Anyway.
It's the nature of the show nowadays.
It seems to be. Well, this is the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast, and this is episode 11. And we've got a regular show of randomness and entertainment news for you. Hopefully we'll have a special guest if she arrives. She's running late, so fingers crossed. But apart from that, I'll launch into our regular startingness of the show and say, Andy, how's your week?
It's not been too bad. You forgot the contact details.
I'll do that in a minute, shut up.
No, it's been alright. I mean, I've been catching up with episodes of on That Guy with the Glasses. I watch that a lot, if you haven't guessed that by now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy on there who... well, yeah. But, I mean, there's a different guy on there called the Rap Critic, who does what his name suggests. I've been watching his older episodes, and I was watching the one for... I keep having to rewatch the one where he was reviewing the artist Drake, just because I just love his reaction when Drake says, and I quote, "I'll make your pussy whistle like the Andy Griffith theme song."
Of course, Andy Griffith being the Graveyard Day.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'll put a clip in of his reaction.
My shirt ain't got no stripes, but I can make your pussy whistle.
Oh, wow. Did not need that information about your sex life.
Like the Andy Griffith theme song.
Yeah, what?
Like the Andy Griffith theme song.
Oh, no, that just made this even worse. Oh, my God. I can never watch that show without thinking about Drake making a... Oh, how would you make it pure? Ah!
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was amusing. But other than that, I've been... I was slightly, very pissed off the other day, on Friday, seeing as I went into work 2 hours early for no reason whatsoever.
That was silly.
Well, I turned up to do health and safety training. Did anyone turn up to take the training? No.
That was silly of them.
Yes. I was quite annoyed.
As I can imagine you would be. Well, while you were sitting there getting not health and safety treat, while you were sitting there not getting... I can restart it. While you were sitting there not getting trained in health and safety, I was in a cinema watching Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. And boy howdy, that's a good movie.
Howdy.
Oh yeah. No,
it's so good it makes you talk like Stan Lee. Did you come out actually doing your Stan Lee impression?
I did do the Stan Lee impression at one point, yes. I've got to say, no, I was in the cinema and they were playing trailers beforehand, and he showed the trailer for Skyfall, the James Bond film, and there's that one shot of Ralph Fiennes in there, and in the cinema you just hear me go, Nagini! Nagini! It was fucking quiet apart from me shouting Nagini. Oh,
did anyone give you a funny look, or?
Sarah gave me a nudge, like. That went yeah, that was
just because you just randomly yelled, Nagini!
Nagini! Well, she knows what it is, but no one else knows. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, no. Stan Lee got a... Well, we were talking about Stan Lee's cameo in it afterwards. And, I don't want to spoil it, but
Stan Lee still has a cameo.
Oh yeah, I think it may be his greatest cameo to date. Oh god,
awesome.
That's so good.
I want to watch that now. Oh, that reminds me actually. Speaking of Ralph Fiennes, Ben from Popcorn again, because he was. Did you see that he was tweeting us saying that we should try and get an interview with Ralph Fiennes?
I did, yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, that could be so awesome and so horribly wrong at the same time.
It would just be me just shouting Nagini at his face for 20 minutes. Yeah,
like the first half would be a proper interview, and then it'd just devolve into us all doing like us two trying to get him to join in on some random massive
improv scenes.
Yeah, well, where he's playing.
Voldemort,
and he's just constantly talking about Nagini.
It's the Voldemort family reunion, Harry. Grandma, can you pat some potatoes? I'm sure I can, Voldemort.
Let me help you out of your chair, Grandma.
Uncle Voldemort! Uncle Voldemort! Why have I got such voices from this poor child? I don't know. You'll grow into it one day. I know, thank you.
Hey, where's Voldemort Jr.? I'm here.
But wait, someone's missing from the table. Nagini, dinner's ready. I was at me Doctor Who group meet the first Saturday of every month. We were there yesterday, and some reason I got to talk about the Nagini, the Voldemort voice, and saying you have to end every sentence with the name Harry. So it'd be like, I've just got to do my pay and display, Harry. Just random shit like that. And then we were talking about Ryan Reynolds being cast in Highlander. And my mate Paul started doing he was talking about Sean Connery. He's like, oh yes, I'm from Egypt, and I was like, oh, you're doing a Sean Connery voice now, are you? Well, we'd better have a Sean Connery off then. So we had a bit of a Sean Connery, Sean Connery contest. So that was interesting.
Who won?
I think it was me. I think I just about won anyway. Yeah. So yes.
You started yelling at him, going, "Oh, you fuck whistle!
You're a stupid fuck monkey, and I hate you, and I want to put your face into a deep fat fryer. And then I'll just go and take her to Scotland where people eat shit that's been put in deep fat fryers all day. I've seen them eat twigs and leaves. And there was one man who put his hand into a deep fat fryer and then ate that. Just off his own wrist. It was fucking strange. There was another guy who had a deep fried face. He lived in Miami.
Oh God, he's become somewhat of a character of ours now as well, which is probably really mean.
He's just always referenced, but he's never actually been a voice on there. I'll see what I can do.
Well, to be fair, if we were having a voice, it'd just be like,
Nagini. No, it was some
that's what
zombie
voice
voice
sounds like if he has his face chewed off.
Harry,
get off my face!
Why are you eating my face, Harry? Well, yeah. Fucking hell are we on? Get in touch with us. We've got a Twitter, which is at 50footnerds. We've got an email.
Characters.
Suggest more characters, yes. We've got an email, which is 50footnerds@gmail.com. We got a Facebook.
Someone had actually sent us an email for a second there.
Sorry, what?
I thought you meant someone had actually sent us an email.
No, not this week.
Any week.
Shut up, you. No, we've got an email account, as I've just said there, and we've got our Facebook, which is 50footnerds. No, it's not. It's facebook.com/attack of the 50footnerds. We're going to go straight in now and start talking about people in geekdom.
Shriek in terror! It's time to discuss people in geekdom.
And this week, oh god, just the title of this one just makes me laugh. Morgan Freeman. Sorry. Morgan Freeman, who's always talking very slowly. And Andy Dufresne was his best friend. That was the worst Morgan Freeman I've ever done in my life. Well, fuck it. Morgan Freeman's decided that Barack Obama isn't...
Freeman!
Yeah, Barack Obama's not black, according to him.
What?
Yeah. Morgan Freeman has claimed that America has never had a black president. He basically says this because Barack Obama is actually... He has a white mother, so he's mixed race. So when Morgan Freeman turns, he ain't a pure blood, he's a mud blood. He's a filthy muggle in the White House.
So basically Morgan Freeman's turned into some sort of reverse racist.
Yeah. Instead of wearing fucking white robes and burning crosses, he's got black robes on and burning fried chicken and grape juice. I don't know.
Oh, good God.
Sorry. That's offensive to anyone. I do apologize. But it was the first black stereotype that came to mind. You can just imagine a big bucket of KFC being burned on the White House lawn.
An effigy of Colonel Sanders. Oh my God, this is so wrong. How the fuck have we got to this? And it's only the first story we've even covered.
We're only 10 minutes in and we've already gone complete racist. But blame Morgan Freeman, because he's a really racist motherfucker.
In other news, his next film is with Michael Bay.
It's a good thing our guest isn't here yet, isn't it?
Probably.
Oh, God. So, yeah, Morgan Freeman, he's not a fan of Obama, it seems. Also saying in the same article here, it says that Brad Pitt's mother recently penned an open letter, an anti-Obama letter to a local newspaper. So Morgan Freeman doesn't like him, Brad Pitt's mum doesn't like him. Huh. I don't even know where to fucking go with that, to be honest with you. So I'll go to the next one then, which is about James Franco. He's the guy who chewed his own arm off when he was stuck behind that rock for a bit.
He cut it off. I don't think he chewed it off.
Well, whatever. In 127 hours. Also is from, obviously, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He's now been contracted to be a writer for Playboy magazine. He's going to be doing a column called Francophile, and it's going to be in the July/August issue of Playboy, and it's going to be part of an ongoing series. Mm. He's going to be, in his first issue, he's going to be interviewing performance artist Marina Abramovich about the existence of magic and space. Well, we know space exists, but there's magic.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure space exists.
Yeah, we don't need the fucking Higgs boson to work that one else.
No. I'm just dubious about the title Francophile. It sounds like someone who gets off to pictures of him.
Okay.
What's up with you? Oh, I'm a Francophile.
I've got
to have pictures of James Franco around me before I can climax. But you're a dude. Shut up!
I can't maintain an erection unless I'm watching Spider-Man 3.
Mm.
Yes. Never take that clip out of context or I will murder you. Next story is, I love this one, I got told about this yesterday. I had to dig this story out. Ron Perlman, the guy who, Hellboy, obviously, After Hellboy 2 came out, he kind of said it doesn't look like they're ever going to make a Hellboy 3. And after, time and time went on, and he basically said, look, I'm never getting in that makeup again, even if they do want to make Hellboy 3. I'm done. It takes too long. It's a pain in the arse. Blah 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 blah. Well, he got back in the makeup this week. There's a kid called, let's see, where are we? I'm trying to think here now.
Zachary.
Right. Okay. Yeah. There was a kid called Zachary. Who's part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He's, don't quite know what, it doesn't say what he's suffering from, but obviously if you know the Make-A-Wish Foundation, it's for kids who don't have long left in the world, and it's to give them one special day, to remember. And he wanted to meet Hellboy. So Ron Perlman got back in the chair, got the makeup put on, and then he went to see Zachary and his family. And what they did is, he spent the day with them just hanging out as Hellboy. The makeup artist went with them, and they transformed Zachary himself into mini Hellboy. And then they all went out for a Hellboy-sized meal of burgers, shakes, and fries. And you see the photos of him with the kid, and you can just see the smile on that kid. I mean, knowing this little guy ain't got long left, but he's absolutely loving every minute of it.
I'm trying to see if there's a picture of him in the with the kid in the full Hellboy costume.
I can't find one. I can only see him with like the headpiece on.
Yeah.
Cut off horns and stuff. But no, that's a Hollywood helper to coin a phrase from another podcast.
Again.
Yes. Yeah. No. I mean. I'll say the guy said he said never again, but there he is now, and more power to him, because it's the easiest thing in the world to do is go underneath all that prosthetics. I mean, you can see a photo of him sitting there with the kid, and Ron Perlman's he's got a bottle of water with a straw in it, because obviously you can't eat and drink stuff with the full prosthetics on, with the teeth and everything. So, because not many people realise that, but Hellboy does actually have false teeth in when he plays the part. So, yeah. But there we go. Anyway, I thought that was a really nice story when I saw that this week. That is that's definitely a person in geekdom to be admired. And a person in geekdom to not be admired is this week's whiny bitch. We've got a whiny bitch alert on Willem Dafoe this week. Willem Dafoe's basically come out and just gone, what is the point in rebooting Spider-Man? Why not just make another sequel? He's like, why tell the exact same story? At which point he then admits that he's not actually seen the reboot of Spider-Man yet, and he doesn't actually know that whether or not it is the same story. It's like, yes, they go over the origin again, but it's completely different to how they did it in his films. So it's like, don't be like, you shouldn't be doing that because we've already seen it once. Yeah, okay, get over it. You know what I mean? We're going to have another Green Goblin at some point. It's not going to be you, so fucking stop being a whiny bastard.
He's basically the opposite of... Who was it last week?
Oh, Peter Berg.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Peter Berg. He's like, Spider-Man shouldn't be doing this. I got there first.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only thing he's been moaning about now. The whiny twat's just been going on about John Carter. That fucking... bomb of a movie that Disney put out that cost about $300 million and made about 26p. He's been whining saying, well, no one went to see it, so we're not going to be making another one, and I wanted to make another one. Me. I was like, yeah, but they'll make another one if the first one was any fucking good, which it wasn't. So, stop being a whiny bitch.
You should listen to me. I had a stone wheel attached to my leg, for God's sake.
It's like he goes into the meeting and he's like there and he's like, so are we gonna make another John Carter movie? And he goes, no. And he goes, what?
No one says no to me.
God.
Yeah. So actually, have you ever seen him in Shadow of the Vampire?
No.
That's a pretty good movie. It's all about the filming of Nosferatu, but and it's got what's his face in there, John Malkovich as F.W. Murnau. And Willem Dafoe's playing Max Schreck, who's the guy who played Nosferatu. But in this film, Max Schreck was an actual real vampire that Murnau did a deal with. he said, okay, come and be in my film, and then once we finished making the film, you can basically suck the blood off the leading actress. You can kill her if you come and be in this. It's really good how it's done.
Huh.
Really great movie, yeah. Yeah, and it's all about Minot basically starting to lose his mind through the film, and it's really good. Really, really good.
Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's definitely one to seek out. I saw it years and years and years and years and years ago, man. Yeah, check that one out. And we're going to end the People in Geekdom section off with a Graveyard Dead. My son is dead. My son is graveyard dead.
Graveyard Dead.
Graveyard Dead. Yep. Someone be Graveyard Dead this week, and that is British TV and actor and comedian Eric Sykes, who passed away this week, aged 89. Now, he worked at some of the big comedy giants like Tony Hancock, Spike Milligan, Peter Sellers, Tommy Cooper. He worked with everyone, and obviously the guy probably most younger people would know him as he was in Harry Potter 4. He was the caretaker who got killed by Nagini when because he went to I think it was in the Shrieking Shack or something like that. And Voldemort's in there hanging around with his cronies going, "Oh, I'm a little fucking embryo thing at the moment. You need to bring me Harry Potter so I can come back to life. Somebody's watching us. Nagini!" And he sends Nagini after them to kill him.
Mm. It wasn't the Shrieking Shack. It was like the old Riddle house or something, I think. Okay,
well, fair enough. Also, probably really young people would know him as that voice at the beginning that just goes, "Teletubbies! Teletubbies!"
What?
You know Teletubbies?
Yeah.
And, with the words come up as, balloons go, and that voice just goes, "Teletubbies!"
Yeah.
That's him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, there we go. Yeah. So that's apparently his last TV role came in 2010 in a cameo as Mr. Fullerton in ITV's adaptation of Agatha Christie's Halloween Party. So he will be sorely missed, as I say, a comedy giant. Big buckets of win for that man.
Yeah. No, I didn't realise he was deaf.
No, he's dead.
No, he's had to cope with being deaf from fucking... No, he's dead. Jesus.
Yeah, people who's dead have to cope with death all the time, That's the main drawback of being dead.
He's been deaf since his early 30s, and those thick-rimmed glasses that he always had were actually a hearing aid.
Yeah, it's a little hidden kind of device, yeah.
Well,
that's it for People in Geekdom, then. So we'll move on to the meat and potatoes of the show, which is the film section.
Thrills and chills abound in movie news.
And this week, carrying on from something I mentioned at the start of the show, The Amazing Spider-Man, it's been announced that the supposed untold story that was going to be getting told in the first one is now going to be told over 3 movies. It's been confirmed to be getting 2 sequels, which is kind of good because, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but certainly there is room to continue the story after the first Spider-Man film. There's a lot of stuff, one character just kind of disappears at one point, and after the film finished, I was like, well, where did he go? But I suppose that's going to be picked up in the sequel, and also there is a mid-credits clip. And again, I won't spoil it, but there is a character in that clip who I would be really interested to see what they do with that character, or indeed who that character is.
Oh, okay.
Yes. There have been much speculation. Well, there's been much speculation that it was Norman Osborn, but Mark Webb has officially come out this week and said, nope, it ain't Norman Osborn. Because you don't see Norman in the film. You see a silhouette of him in Oscorp. There's a picture, but it's in silhouette. But yeah, but it ain't Norman, so it's a question of who is it now. And
Tony Stark.
No, it was actually Samuel L. Jackson asking him to join the Avengers Initiative.
Oh, that'd be so awesome if it was.
That'd be brilliant. No, I'm not. Again, I'm not.
It's like we said before. There's the possibility that could happen now.
There is indeed. Now, oh shit, I almost dropped my fucking Jack and Coke all over the place. Now, I'm not going to say who this mysterious man was talking to, because that would be a huge spoiler in itself. So, but yeah, so there is definitely potential to see where this sequel can take us. So,
Indeed.
yes, indeed.
The Kingpin.
No, it's not the Kingpin. No, Kingpin's tied up over at Fox anyway with Daredevil.
Kingpin was in Daredevil?
Yeah, he was the big black guy.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
The Daredevil.
I remember now, yeah.
Because he's like, fucking... oh God, what's his name? Michael Clark Duncan's like,
Bring me the Daredevil.
And Colin Farrell's like, but I want a fucking costume. So, yeah. He hires Daredevil, doesn't he? Not Daredevil, Bullseye.
Bullseye.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He does.
And fun trivia fact is when they did MTV did a computer animated series following on from the first Spider-Man movie. It was called Spider-Man: The New Animated Series, and Kingpin appeared in that series, and he was the black Michael Clark Duncan version, voiced by Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Which was so it was kind of a crossover between the Spider-Man and the Fox universe. Although by the end of the series, it was supposed to be taking place after Spider-Man 1. Peter and Harry Osborn still lived together, and they all went to university with Mary Jane and everything, and it was just big crap. Yeah. So yeah. Alright, next story then. It was confirmed this week the running time for The Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
The BBFC. We got the information from them as they classify the movie as a 12A for moderate violence. Well, no shit. The running time was 164 minutes, making it the longest of the Nolan Batman movies, and indeed the longest Batman movie of all.
Cool.
So it's been given a PG-13 rating in the States, which is basically the same thing as a 12A. So, but apparently it had its first screening this week for critics in America, and the critics stood up and applauded.
Nice.
I saw a few tweets, because obviously there's an embargo on reviews at the moment until the movie comes out. But I saw a few tweets basically with preliminary thoughts, and he was saying it's everything you want from a Batman movie. One guy was even saying that he cried at a couple of points. Just one was out of the emotion of the scene, and another one was from sheer fanboy squeeism. Yeah. So we'll have to see. But and I did read something about Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. So I can say this now because it's obviously not a spoiler, but people out there hoping that he was going to become the new Batman or going to become Robin, he ain't. Basically, he's just a policeman. That's all he is. So, as I say, it's a non.
Or is he?
No, it's a non-spoiler. Basically, don't get your hopes up because it ain't gonna happen. So, there we go. Yeah.
Or is he?
No.
I just like the bottom of this article where it's like, oh yeah, Cillian Murphy teases Dark Knight Rises appearance for red lights, and then the articles underneath it's got Dark Knight Rises trailer, Dark Knight Rises official trailer, and then Michael Caine stays tight-lipped about Dark Knight Rises, which has Michael Caine in front of pictures from Cars 2.
Yeah.
It's like, eh?
Well, I might be in the movie, I might not be in the movie. You'll have to come and see, won't you, Master Wayne?
What do you think, Albert?
The size of a tangerine.
What do you think, Albert? Oh, I thought it was alright.
Well, I thought it was alright too, but I haven't seen it yet. But the critics haven't they? Yes, they have. What did they think? They thought it was alright. Really? Really? Did they clap? They did indeed. Nice. Any more? Not really. Well, I'm going home then. Alright. Oh shit, the door's locked. I can't get out. Hold up a minute. I've got a cunning plan. We are the Self-Preservation Society.
Quick, get Michael Winslow.
Michael Winslow didn't get any references last week.
Did he not?
No, considering we mentioned Steve Guttenberg, we completely didn't get the Police Academy, crossover with Michael Winslow.
God, we suck.
I know. Well, we missed Nagini the other week. We missed Michael Winslow last week. It's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous.
Well, we've got so many characters now, we can't possibly remember them all.
I know. And there was a couple of new ones last week. We had Mike Kermit the Frog. I noticed when we were doing the edit, Mike Kermit with the Frog was quite passable. Like, not now, 80s robot. I said that in the edit, and I was like, oh god, that actually sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, it does. It's quite awesome.
Hi-yo.
Hi-yo.
There was another one, but I can't remember what it was. I was like, oh yeah, me Gollum as well. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, Jesus Christ. We're gonna have to figure out something to do with all these voices, aren't we, Andy? Ho hum, strunky beard.
Indeed.
Which,
hashtag foreshadowing.
Hashtag record your stuff, please.
Hashtag whiny bitch.
Yeah. So Alfred got balls the size of a tangerine. The next story I've got is to do with a DVD, or rather a Blu-ray release, and it's for the Blu-ray release of The Avengers. We discussed the other week about the short film that was going on there called Item 47. Well, it's been disclosed what Item 47 actually is this week. Now, the 12-minute short is going to star Lizzie Kaplan and Jesse Bradford as Benny and Claire. Lizzie Kaplan would be probably best known to you from Cloverfield, where she played the girl Marlena, who basically exploded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she went behind the screens at the CDC kind of thing and exploded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Item 47 itself is a Chitauri rifle.
Ooh.
Yes, they get their hands on a Chitauri rifle and decide they're going to start robbing banks and, trying to, make themselves, as rich and powerful as they can be. And S.H.I.E.L.D. go, that ain't going to happen. So there we go. S.H.I.E.L.D. agents include Maximiliano Hernandez, who's the guy that Agent Coulson's with in the other shorts, and a guy called Titus Welliver, who would probably be best known as the Man in Black from the latest series of Lost, Jacob's brother.
Yes.
So, whereas
Does he turn into a smoke monster in this?
Not that I know of, or that would be fucking cool.
Yeah.
Whereas the previous shorts, the Consultant and A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to Thor's Hammer, they were only about 5-6 minutes long each. This one's 12 minutes, so it's double length.
Cool.
Yes. So we shall have to see what comes of that once the Blu-ray hits streets on September the 17th in the UK and September 25th in the US.
And it's also going to have maybe up to 35 minutes of deleted footage.
Fingers crossed. I know there's deleted scenes from Spider-Man which ain't in the movie, so I'm really looking forward to see them. They completely cut out the Lizard's family, so we'll have to see whether they make it into the DVD. Next story then is we discussed this, I think it was last week or the week before, is Bill Murray went on to David Letterman and said, that they're working on Ghostbusters 3, trying to make it as good as they can. Well, it's been kind of confirmed this week by Dan Aykroyd. Now, Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stubinski, who were the writers of Year One, who originally took a go at the script, they've been binned off, it would appear. The script obviously didn't meet the high standards of Bill Murray, so 2 new writers have been brought in. Well, I say 2 new writers, I'm not even actually sure amounts. The article that I've got here from Ain't It Cool News, it says that Dan Aykroyd spoke about the continuing development of another Ghostbusters sequel over the weekend at an appearance to promote his Crystal Head vodka. He says they've got a new writing staff on it now. It's got to be perfect. That's the whole thing. There's no point in doing it unless it's perfect. So that's what we're up to now. So he says a new writing staff, so I would assume, at least 2 or more, clearly. So
yeah.
But yeah, so we'll have to see. I'll see if this one meets Bill Murray's expectations. But it's nice to know that they're still trying, even if Bill went, nope, not having that one. they were like, okay, well, we'll try again and try and get Bill on board with this one.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Aye, indeed. Yeah. And our final piece of movie news this week. Good God, this show is going to be short. Final piece of movie news this week is about Die Hard 5. There was a fire on the set. Now, it says a special effects stunt on the Hungarian set of A Good Day to Die Hard, which is Die Hard 5, is said to have sparked a blaze. This is from digitalspy.co.uk via E-News. It says an action sequence involving a helicopter and a building on fire went wrong when the blades of the helicopter reportedly escalated the fire, engulfing the entire structure. Luckily, there were no injuries during the fire, which was extinguished quickly. It's thought that Bruce Willis and co-star Patrick Stewart were not on the set during the accident. Oh. Now, I don't think it's that Patrick Stewart, number one. I don't think it's him. I think it's the kid playing his son. So I don't think, Picard's been cast in it anyway. Not that I know of. So yeah, it should probably. I mean, I would imagine it says here that the movie began filming in April. What are we in now? We're in July, so probably principal photography is wrapped. It's probably second unit. So that would be why Bruce Willis wasn't there.
Yeah.
So there we go. So don't worry about it. Basically, I'm just clicking on Patrick Stewart here.
Try and figure out if he's in it or not.
Yeah. Let's see. Pardon me, it might be Patrick Stewart because all the previous articles, linked to stuff like X-Men and what have you.
Huh. That's
unusual. Let's see. Just trying to find any other related Die Hard articles that may say. Oh, there we go. Patrick Stewart as playing the role of a disgraced Russian general. Oh, blow me down with a feather.
Blow you down with a feather?
Yeah, knock me down with a feather. Fuck you. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like Picard will be hanging around with Bruce Willis come Die Hard 5.
Indeed.
Well, I've just learned something new today, so let Andy learn something, teach you something new today with his comic section.
Squirm in fear. It's time to talk comics.
How's that for a segue,
eh? Yeah, kind of.
Fuck you.
Right, so, first thing I've got is that DC have finally announced the return of the Joker, seeing as, they've been teasing it ever since the beginning of the New 52, what with,
Has he not been in New 52 at all?
Nope, not yet.
Yeah.
He's basically, he kind of appeared in for a short while in Detective Comics issue 1, where some guy came and skinned his face off. And then since then, Joker's been nowhere to be seen, but the skin from his face has been pinned up in Gotham City Police Department.
Right. So it was like Face Off then, basically.
Yeah, kind of. But, yeah, this article from Comic Vine says, who is the greatest comic book villain of all time? There's no doubting the ruthlessness and all-calculating way the Joker operates. When it comes to Batman villains, he clearly holds the top spot among them. He is the only character that has hit so close to Batman's home. He's already shot and crippled Batgirl and brutally killed Robin. Both may have gotten better, but the fact that he managed and did so remained. Since the beginning of the New 52, there really hasn't been much of the Joker seen aside from his face. The big question on all of our minds is when will he turn up next? Today, DC has announced that the Joker will return in October's Death in the Family story arc, and it will be in a horrifying, unnerving, and huge way. And obviously in the Batman series, because it's written by Scott Snyder and art by Capullo. So
I feel sorry for the poor bastard who cut Joker's face off, because he ain't gonna take that line there.
No, he asked the guy to do it.
Oh yeah, oh right.
Yeah, the guy who cut his face off turned up, and then Joker was like, so you're finally here. So he knew about it.
So
And he,
why would Joker arrange for someone to cut his own face off unless he's was going to use someone else's face in the meantime?
God knows. They haven't answered that yet.
Joker been on the cover then, has he? That'd be interesting.
But Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo, and Jonathan Glapion bringing him back in the pages of Batman. But by the sound of it, is going to be more than just Batman dealing with it. Heard Scott Snyder talk about his affection and fascination with Batman, and what he said about Joker on DC's blog was, Joker's my favourite villain of all time, not just in comics. In everything, films, books, TVs, the greatest, hands down. So this story is something extremely important and personal to me, something I've been building in my head ever since I started working in Gotham. Basically, this is my big exploration of the Joker, my Arkham Asylum or the Killing Joke, only bigger in scope. Bottom line, it's the biggest, baddest, most shocking Joker story I could tell. This is Joker completely unleashed. He's been away for a full year, planning his revenge, watching, plotting, setting things up. And now he's back, he has his trap set, his knife sharpened, and wait till you see him. Greg's sketches literally gave me chills.
Right.
Point blank, this is Joker like you've never seen him before. He has a mission, he has a secret, and he has a serious axe to grind with Batman.
I can imagine. So. Yeah. Well, he's fucking, he's always having an axe to grind with Batman, so.
Yeah. So, this is another reason why I say Scott Snyder's born to write Batman stories.
Not long now, because Batman 11's just about to come out, isn't it?
Yeah, I finally read number 10 as well, which
right.
is so I finally found out that one of the one missing person from the Court of Owls was actually spoilers. It's Bruce Wayne's brother,
Indeed.
Thomas Wayne Jr.
Yes.
I thought it'd have something to do with his father, but
he's got the same name as him, so.
Yeah. So now he's fighting. It just ended with Batman fighting the last Talon.
Right.
So. Yeah, that I can't wait to read that Joker storyline. And
I remember when I looked into that spoiler for issue 10 the other week, and I was just like, oh my god, I want to tell you, but I couldn't. Because I knew once you read it, you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
So
it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Now moving from DC to Marvel returns. Okay. Marvel has been teasing the possible return of Jean Grey. Because she's been
for a while.
Yep. Since her death in New X-Men 150, it's been over 8 years since we've seen her.
Yeah.
There's Entertainment Weekly's Pop Watch posted some details on a Comic-Con issue a couple of weeks back. Besides the expected coverage of what you can expect to see, they mention and show an exclusive first look at a cover image, which, by the looks of it, has Jean Grey in her classic costume.
Right.
Could be something as simple as a flashback story to the X-Men's early days, but it sounds like they're making more out of it. EW mentioned that it can only confirm her presence in the Marvel Universe will not be imaginary, it won't be a part of the Ultimate lineup. She will not be a zombie hologram like Shard on X-Factor.
Okay.
Apparently more information is going to be revealed tomorrow, which it says July the 2nd, so let me see if I can find more info about it. Great.
It's to do with the Marvel Now relaunch. That's what it is. I found the article. Let me just.
Yeah, well, that was going to be the next story.
Oh, it's the one you sent me, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's a nice segue. Go on then.
Indeed.
Tell us now.
Yes, so they've announced that they're relaunching their entire line of books this October.
Ooh.
Huh.
I think we discussed this last week, didn't we? Saying about Marvel possibly doing a new 52 on us.
Yeah. That sounds slightly familiar.
Well, let's see. What characters have we got in this image then? Let's see. So we got Spider-Man, we got the Hulk, we got Thor, we got Jean Grey, we got Nova, Iron Man, Regular and Nick Fury Jr.'s, Sue Storm from Future Foundation costume, Wolverine, Captain America, Rocket Raccoon, and is that Cyclops?
What, where?
In that red costume, next to Wolverine.
It could be.
Yeah, it's an unusual look for him.
Yeah. Especially seeing as he only just changed costume to something that looked a lot like Nightwing.
Yeah. That's, I can only imagine that. Cyclops anyway.
I said, basically, the entire universe isn't going to won't be changing, but they're going to see the return of some characters and the launch of all new titles, which is like Uncanny Avengers, which is a bridge book, apparently.
Right.
All new X-Men, written by Bendis. It's not a time travel story like Back to the Future. It's a time travel story like Pleasantville, and that's the story that
Pleasantville is not a time travel story. But Pleasantville is one of those sucked inside the TV stories. It ain't a time travel, but just because Pleasantville itself is like set in the 50s doesn't mean that there's time travel involved. I take umbrage with that, I'm afraid.
Well, that's the story that's having the return of Jean Grey, by the looks of it.
So,
And then you've got Avengers written by Jonathan Hickman. It's not 6 Avengers, it's 18 or more. Oh god, the new title's going to be bi-weekly.
So, save up your pennies, kids, because you'll be spending a lot.
Yeah, that's the one problem that Marvel have. They're like, oh yeah, these stories aren't making as much money as these other ones. And it's like, well, yeah, they won't, seeing as the other ones that you're comparing them to ship 2 issues a month compared to the other one which only ships 1. Especially seeing as they still charge $2.99 or $3.99 when it's a bi-weekly book.
We were discussing this about the pictures, saying that the cinema ticket prices. I mean, we went to see Spider-Man. I mean, granted, it was like an 11 o'clock screening, but the cinema was empty. There was only a handful of people in there, and we were like, if they charged less for a ticket, you'd get more people in, which means you'd actually make more overall.
Yeah.
So cinema ticket prices are just an absolute rip-off. I mean, when I went with the kid the other day, it was literally less than £3 for both of us. So I mean, it was the same price for an adult and a child because it was the kids club thing, like. But yeah, I mean, you charge only even a £5 for a cinema ticket. Bang, you're filling every screening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I know there's costs and everything like that, but as I say, charge less, you get more people in. Charge higher, you get less people in. It's fucking financially, so makes sense. But anyway, I digress.
Aye. Well, the other stuff I've got is people noticing on comicbookresources.com a thing about Easter eggs in comics. So I've just got a...
Sorry, I've just had a tweet from our special guest, whose alarm clock didn't go off. So, fingers crossed she'll be on shortly.
And then your microphone breaks.
Yeah, my microphone fell over, as it does every week. So
take a shot.
Yeah, I was trying to just adjust my desk anyway, so there we go. Yeah.
I just tweeted her saying that we're still on.
Okay, yeah, just on the same. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, basically it's a load of Easter eggs that people have spotted. Like, for example, there's this one in an issue of Iron Man 140, the Tony and Rhodia fishing on a yacht called the Throat Warbler Mansgrove.
Beg your pardon?
Which it's a reference to a Monty Python's Flying Circus sketch.
Oh, right, I was going to say, with a name like that, it sounds like something our guest might want to discuss.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And there's in Amazing Spider-Man issue 589, Spidey walks in, and Peter walks into his Aunt May's house, and she's like, "Oh, you're just in time," and the Ghostbusters are there.
What?
Yeah.
Did you send me? I don't think I have that one.
Yeah, it's the same page as the Tony Stark has the throat warbler mangrove thing. Because each page has like 3.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. It's Peter, yeah. Yeah, Peter, Ray, and Egon, and Winston.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then the third one on this page is, let's see.
What Studios?
Yep.
That
It used to be the home of Golden Pictures, now it's mostly a trap. Actually, good location though, just around the corner from Jim Henson Studios. The one with the famous cartoon frog.
Actually, does look like Muppet Studios looked in the movies. In fact, yeah,
Cool.
it says underneath, that is actually Jim Henson Studios.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Another one, which is thing from Spawn issue 10, which it could be too clear to be called an Easter egg, but it was a picture which was a metaphor about how work-for-hire victimizes creators, where Spawn stood outside a jail, and you can see all these arms trying to reach out. You can see Hulk, Batman,
Juggernaut,
Spider-Man, Juggernaut,
Doc Ock.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's Batman.
Flash.
Yeah, there's that Shazam there next to the Hulk. Yeah, and then Venom's just above him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wolverine's.
Oh, you mean Captain Marvel?
That's what I mean. Yeah. Yeah. Wolverine is just above Wonder Woman, next to the Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's quite a fair few. Yeah.
There's the Joker back there as well, I think.
Yeah. Can't see him.
Yeah. He's the one with the
of
the
course,
purple glove.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the cross-company deaths in JLA number 1. HyperClan shows up and starts executing supervillains, and on the tied to the posts, you may recognise some of them.
One's Wolverine.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom.
One's Doctor Doom.
Is that one that they're killing? Is that Hawkeye?
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
So the guy they are killing who was talking kind of looks like not Cable. What's his name? Bishop.
A little bit. Well, the fact that he's white means it can't be Bishop. Well, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. Look at that skin tone. That is not black.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
And then Jay and Silent Bob hidden in Braille, but I can't read Braille, so I don't know whether that's true or not.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
There's some interesting Easter eggs out there if you look for them.
Yeah. Pinky and the Brain in Incredible Hulk 438.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Spider-Man and Punisher team up to stop a military school commandant who's using the school to deal drugs. Yeah. Whatever reason the bad guy's made to look like Charles Bronson.
Okay.
Yeah. And then an explosion that says, "Holy cow, dig the fireworks."
What the fuck, man? I mean, how did you think...
Bootsy Collins appearing in supervillain team up. That's random.
Yeah.
Calls for some funk bass.
My name is Bootsy Collins.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't talk like that.
Hey, baby, I'm Bootsy Collins, motherfucker. Yeah. I got some funky jazz for your ass. He sounded a bit like Towley from South Park when they did that. Sounds like, oh man, I'm so high. Won't you take me to funky town? Yeah.
Yeah. The other one I've got here that I'm gonna cover. There's a whole thing about new X-Men 118 having all these instances of the word sex in it in the art. But the other one I wanted to cover was Superman Batman Annual #1, which has Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne attacked by Deathstroke, as well as the Crime Syndicate. But because the evil versions of Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne are both there, the good version of Deathstroke turns up, who is pretty much Deadpool.
Okay.
Yeah, so he turns up, and you can tell it's Deadpool because, he's got the actual Deadpool eye thing going on.
Right.
You know, the black circle around the eye.
Yeah.
But then, just the way he talks, because it's like he appears, the page that it's got, it says, when suddenly, and then him breaking through, and he's like, howdy sailors, hate to interrupt this production of Brokeback Titanic, but Bruce Wayne, it's time to play I'm Saving Your Capitalist Pig Life, starring everyone's hero. And
hello.
Yeah, that's because he got shot before he could say his name. That's a running gag throughout the whole issues where he is that he can never say his name before someone incapacitates him.
Right. Okay.
But he's got the whole thing. He's beating someone with his own arm that's been ripped off.
Okay.
So and then he pops it back in and it heals again.
Right.
It's and he tries to introduce himself to Bruce Wayne again. He goes, and you can call me, and then Deathstroke sticks a katana through his skull.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, that pretty much. And a quick recommendation before we finish as well.
Okay.
Which is Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man. I just got the trades of that, and basically I started reading it because I Wikipedia'd it because people said it was weird.
Right.
And it's like the first story. It starts with Animal Man, like his powers being a bit scrambled and stuff.
Right.
And then in the second trade, it starts getting a bit weird, and like it's got Psycho Pirate and Mad Hatter going like, "Oh, we're all just words on a page, written by some hack to meet a deadline," and stuff like that. And it's like, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?" And then it gets to the point where Animal Man meets Grant Morrison.
Right.
The very end, it goes into this weird, like, completely meta existentialist stuff where Animal Man, I haven't got to that bit yet, but that's the reason why I wanted to read it, was because I was looking up Animal Man after starting on the New 52 stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, and Grant Morrison wrote a thing where Animal Man realised he was a comic book character and he met Grant Morrison. I was like, wait, what?
It was.
And now he puts it down.
Was it me? I was discussing about Grant Morrison yesterday with a friend of mine, Matt, and he was saying. Oh,
sorry, we should say Sir Grant Morrison now, shouldn't we?
Oh yes. Who's the other guy who works with Morrison a lot? Fucking. Oh God. I want to say Ellis. Is it Ellis? Oh, I can't remember his name.
Garth Ennis.
No, not Garth Ennis. I don't know. I can't remember his name now. Anyway, but he was telling me about. It'll come back to me later. He was telling me that it was the first time they'd ever met, and they were in the same hotel because they were in a convention together. And he's like, right, okay, I'm going to go and see if I can meet Grant Morrison for the first time. And so he phoned down to reception and said, oh, it's blah blah blah. Can you tell me what room Grant Morrison's in? So I says, okay, yeah. So they gave him the room number. So he went to knock at the door, and he knocked on the door. And he said he opened the door, and just all this smoke came out, and Grant Morrison's just stood there, nowhere, nothing at all. And he just had this look on his face and just went, I can see the universe in my mind, and then closed the door.
Sounds like Grant Morrison.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah. So that was it.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
Warren Ellis, that's who it was.
Ah.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, so yeah, my mate told me that story yesterday. I thought that was pretty fun. So go on, sorry, I've hijacked your story there.
Yeah, I was pretty much saying that, basically, Animal Man meets Grant Morrison, and it basically, at the very end, he wakes up and he thinks it's all just some really weird dream. And I wasn't sure if it had happened in the New 52 or not until I was reading an issue the other week, and something is like being thrown into the red, and which is what they've now, what in the New 52 is where he gets his animal powers and stuff. He accesses the red, which has like the spirits of all animals and stuff in it.
You mentioned this back in...
when I was talking about the about them before.
Yeah.
He's been dragged into there because his body's been possessed by an agent of the rot. And then, as he's thinking to himself, he's like, I once had a dream where I literally met my maker. He was this skinny little Scottish dude who said he wrote my life. I was like, so it did happen. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So yeah, go and read that, someone.
Okay. Alrighty. Well.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I need to talk about.
Okay. Well, we shall move on then.
Tremble at the might of the TV section.
Right, well, our first story this week for the TV section is a follow-up to something that we discussed last week, which is Charlie Sheen's new TV series, Anger Management. We had the story last week that it was like, it went to the biggest ratings for a cable show, like the biggest premiere ratings, and this week, it's fucking took a nosedive. Yes. Now, I didn't know about this. Apparently, Selma Blair and Shawnee Smith are both in the series as well. I didn't know that. It was down 35% on viewers, pulling in 3.37 million as opposed to the pilot's 5.47 million. Fucking hell. That's bad. So yeah, we still don't know whether or not it's getting those 90 episodes we were discussing last week. But if this trend continues, now I don't fucking think we're going to get more than a second season out of it. Because it's already confirmed for a second season. So Charlie Sheen may not be winning for much longer.
No, apparently not.
Yeah.
Though he apparently gave Winona Ryder her stage name.
Did he?
That's what it says underneath.
Oh, right, okay, let's see this. It loads up.
It says 46-year-old actor told a Yes Network Centre Stage that before Ryder landed her first major role, he came up with the name.
Right.
We're listening to the Doors to Riders on the Storm, and he explained her real name is Horowitz, and I said, I'm thinking Winona Ryder sounds cool, and she was like, yeah. However, Sheen added that Ryder has refused to acknowledge his contribution.
So basically, we'll be talking bullshit.
Yep.
That's Charlie Sheen.
Indeed.
Boop,
boop, boop, ba-doop, boom. Sheen.
Mr. Sheen shines umpteen things clean.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yeah, well, I've got another story about an American TV show this week, which is The Office, the American version of The Office.
Indeed.
Have you ever watched it?
No.
No. Right, okay. Well, I've
never watched the British version, to be fair.
You're missing out if you ain't seen the British version. The British version is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Although,
the
British and American versions of The Office is the way American adaptations of British shows should be done. Because
completely different.
Exactly. The American version is like an actual like comedy drama thing, isn't it? Whereas the British version is like supposed to be a fly on the wall documentary.
Yeah, the British version is a comedy, but it's got a nice like dramatic story at its core, whereas the American version of The Office it's a sitcom. It's an out-and-out sitcom. It's done in the same style as the UK version, as a faux fly on the wall documentary thing. But they play it more as an out-and-out comedy as opposed to... because they did have the Tim and Dawn, or in America it was Jim and whatever her name was in the American version. They still had the love story and everything like that. But it's been announced that people were saying that once Steve Carell left, that it was going to go downhill, but it's still going strong. But they have announced a spin-off for the Ryan Wilson's character, Dwight, who was the what's his bloody name, Gareth character in the UK version. He's getting a spin-off where we meet his family. Now he's the nerdy, geeky suck-up on the show, basically. And it's going to be called The Farm. And it says that we're going to get to meet Dwight's younger sister, Fanny, a single mother whose left-leaning political views make her the opposite of her brother, Fanny's 9-year-old son, Cameron, and Dwight's younger brother, Jeb, an unmotivated former Bigfoot hunter.
Okay.
Discussed people searching for Bigfoot previously, so...
Damn Bigfoot.
God damn you, Bigfoot.
Indiana's a dog's name.
Bigfoot was a dog's name. Fuck you. So that should be interesting. That series is going to be debuting early 2013. So it looks like he'll still be on the Office at the same time.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool. But it means he's going to be awfully fucking busy. Have you ever seen Ryan Wilson in Super?
No.
That is a brilliant film. It's written and directed by what's his name now? The guy who did Slither and what's his name now? He wrote the remake of Dawn of the Dead. James Gunn, that's his name. It's Ryan Wilson's character, basically his girlfriend, who is fucking Liv Tyler, I think it is. Basically she falls in with a drug dealer played by Kevin Bacon, who basically steals her away, and Ryan Wilson's character has a breakdown and discovers God. Basically, God comes to him and pulls open his skull and touches him in the brain, and says to him, he says, "You should be a superhero." So he makes a costume up and then goes out to fight crime. And his superpower is that he has a big fuck off wrench to twat people in the head with. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And what's his catchphrase?
Shut up, crime.
That's his catchphrase. And Ellen Page is in there. She works at the local comic shop, because he goes in to buy all these comics, and he's saying, like, if there was a real superhero, what kind of stuff would he do and all that. And she figures out that he's the Crimson Bolt in the end. So she comes up with her own sidekick costume. She calls herself Bolty. And she's funny as fuck. And then she gets all turned on by wearing the costume, tries to seduce him and stuff, even though they're going to try and rescue his wife. Oh, it's fucking hysterical. Absolutely fucking hysterical.
I'm going to have to watch this. This
really
sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's
although
mental.
Yeah. Your thing of like him saying "take that crime" reminds me of Burnt Face Man.
It was just an ordinary day in Frying Pan City until...
Pooh-wee, what is that smell?
It's horrid. What a horrid smell.
It smells like fried piss.
I think it smells more like a dead breast.
Smells more like bear shit to me. You're right, folks, it does smell. It smells like trouble.
Oh, God, not him.
Just pretend you didn't see him. Don't worry, good citizens. Burnt Face Man is on the case.
He is such a dick.
I'm not a dick, but I am addicted to crime. Well, fighting it, that is.
God, I hope he dies.
I'm pretty sure that was his catchphrase.
Burnt Face Man?
Yeah, Burnt Face Man.
Is he related to Chewed Face Man from Miami?
No. It was way before Chewed Face Man. Chewed Face Man came afterwards. Burnt Face Man's the original. It's an animation. It's done by the same guy who did like Salad Fingers and stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because one of his foes is like one of the best episodes is one where he's having to fight his arch enemies, Man Spider and Bastard Man.
Bastard Man.
Yeah.
Well, Man Spider, after 2 years of secret development in our secret labs, we finally created the worst smell ever.
It smells like a bag of dead cats.
I call it Pegeran because it sounds like it smells.
Yeah, there's a. I'm just going to send you a link over to a picture of Alan Page in Super, because that's yes, I approve.
Oh.
Yes. So there you go.
I'd jizz on that for $1.
I would jizz all over that for $1. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
Goosh. Yeah. So. Have you heard about Ellen Page? She's going to be in that new video game.
No.
Now you know Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people who did that Quantum Dream, they're doing a new game now, and Ellen Page is going to be the motion capture and voice artist for the main character in it, and it looks really fucking cool. She's got all like these super psychic powers and fucking can blow shit up with her mind and stuff. Basically, like your Tetsuo and fucking Chronicle kind of guy. But Ellen Page.
Cool.
So yeah, it looks pretty fucking cool to me. Well, moving on then. We're discussing Comic-Con now, and it's been announced this week that Marvel are going to Comic-Con, obviously. But the TV side of things they're going to have panels regarding the new animated series of Avengers Assemble, and also Hulk and the Agents of Smash, and also Ultimate Spider-Man. So yeah, it's let's see. Yeah, it's going to be Saturday's panel at 10:30 a.m. No video or audio recording equipment. So basically, that means that they're going to be showing footage, and they don't want it leaking out. But it always does. Always does.
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully we might get our first views on what the animation is like on these shows, because Hulk kind of looks pretty basic, whereas Avengers Assemble looks like quite the quality of the drawing, the character design and what have you looks a lot more what's the word?
Detailed.
Yes, that's the one. That'll do. Whereas Hulk looks a little bit more cartoony. Yeah. So I'm sorry, are we keeping you up?
Sorry. This is you who was yawning earlier, complaining that you were. That was during the break though, so people didn't hear that. God damn it!
Yeah, see. Yes, we had a little break shortly, a short while ago there.
Yes.
Well, my last story for the TV section, at least, is with regards to a new TV series. I don't know if we've discussed this already or not, but A&E have decided they're going to be moving forward with a prequel series based on the movie Psycho. It's going to be called Bates Motel, and will detail the life of Norman Bates and his mother Norma at the Bates Motel, as a prequel to the actual movie. Now, the series was picked up before the pilot has even aired or anything like that. They've not even, they've just bypassed the pilot and went straight to a 10-episode order, it says here. So, now it's not the first time they've ever tried doing a TV series based on Psycho, but it's the first time that it's actually gone to series. So that looks pretty cool, actually. We shall see what comes of that. It's going to premiere probably in the fall of 2013. So autumn 2013, because we're not American. No, but it's not. That's the last of the actual TV section. But I do have a few other extra bits of news for our little used section, which is Doctor Who.
behind the sofa as we discuss Doctor Who.
And there's a couple of stories that came out this week, similar to ones that we've discussed previously. I think we discussed Noel Clarke saying that he wasn't coming back on the 50th anniversary. Well, we've had two more people who said the same thing. These are former Doctors Paul McGann and Colin Baker, who basically said that no one's been in touch with them, and as far as they're concerned, it doesn't look like they're coming back for the 50th anniversary. Now, Colin Baker made a good point when he said about his, because you look at a picture of Colin Baker then and a picture of Colin Baker now, and it looks like Colin Baker now ate Colin Baker then. So he's the first one to say he doesn't look anything like he did back then. So how they would explain that, he wouldn't have a clue. But Paul McGann said, no one's been in touch with them or anything like that. So, but they, this week, in fact, Big Finish Productions, who do the audio plays based on Doctor Who, actually released the cover for the new Paul McGann adventure, in which he's wearing a new modern costume. His Doctor has got short hair like Paul actually has in real life now, and he's not wearing the Victorian clothing. He's wearing like a brown kind of Indiana Jones type jacket and what have you, and he actually wore that costume to a convention a couple of years ago saying, "This is my Doctor's new costume," and everyone was like, well, when was this announced, kind of thing? And then the BBC went, nothing to do with us, don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And lo and behold, it's been signed off as an official costume for the 8th Doctor now. So people are saying, well, why can't they just use photos of him as he was back then? Why are they taking new ones now with a new costume? And the rumour is that he is going to be in the 50th anniversary wearing this new costume. So that would be pretty fucking awesome. I went to an evening with Paul McGann a few months ago, like a fan event kind of thing. Like he was the Doctor in the TV movie from '96. Yeah. He only had the one go at it.
Where it was randomly in America.
Yeah, I was going to ask him about that at the actual evening, but I ran out of time in the Q&A session. I was going to say, A, are you coming back for 50th anniversary? And B, what's with that costume that you were wearing a couple of years ago? And lo and behold, we've now found out what the deal is with that. But much like Noel Clarke a couple of weeks ago, you kind of have to take these announcements with a pinch of salt, because they until we've actually get confirmation, take it as read that they're going to be in it, basically. Because everyone wants a multi-Doctor story. So yeah. So at the moment, I would take it as read that they're lying and they will be in it. But until we get an announcement from the BBC, there we go. That's not the only piece of Doctor Who news, though. We've got an announcement of casting for the new series. Now, I wouldn't normally bring up something like this, only that the cast member that's been announced is Dame Diana Rigg of the old TV series The Avengers. She was Emma Peel on The Avengers.
So she wasn't Black Widow?
No, not that one. No, she was with John Steed and everything. John Steed and Emma Peel.
Yeah.
So she's been cast in an episode written by Mark Gatiss. She's also been cast with her daughter as well, Rachel Sterling, her daughter in real life. And they're going to be playing a mother and daughter on screen as well.
Oh, fair enough.
So there we go. It's also been announced, I think it was the week before, though, that David Warner's going to be in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, everyone loves a bit of David Warner. So, if you listen to the Big Finish audios, actually, they do a range called Doctor Who Unbound, which is all like alternate timeline stuff with different people playing the Doctor and what have you. And David Warner played the Doctor in a couple of them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, his interpretation of it is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It is. How does he do it?
I can't put my finger on it. Like, I can't just describe it. You need to listen to it. Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
If you've got a clip, add one in.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll dig it out.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the slave.
People in high places don't like my attitude. They've dumped me somewhere I can't do any harm, and they've taken away my means of escape.
Where were you when I needed you, eh?
I was supposed to arrive earlier, much earlier. It's 1997. I'm years out.
You wouldn't believe some of the things I saw. I mean, plastic robots trying to take over the world, I ask you.
I've obviously missed out on a lot of developments.
Lucky you. Some of us have to live through them.
Well, I'm here now. I'm stuck here.
A Chinese stealth plane crashes in Hong Kong the day before the handover. That falls under unit jurisdiction.
Good. You're old friends.
No, my worst enemy.
You saw the red star on that thing? It's a communist plane.
And as of midnight tomorrow, they're in charge.
As of midnight tomorrow, the Chinese can move their whole army over the border and nobody can stop them.
This, you great big honourable discharge, is General Curler, political officer with the People's Liberation Army.
We are all what our actions make us. What we do makes what we are.
An Englishman's home is his castle. Trespassers will be shot.
It is best to bend like bamboo in the wind.
That rather depends on the wind. It's worse than I thought.
And my last piece of Doctor Who news is that it's been announced that they're going to Comic-Con, which was only a matter of time before that was announced anyway, because they've been going for the last few years. They're going to be going. Matt Smith, Arthur Darvill, who plays Rory, and Karen Gillan playing Amy, they're going to the convention with Stephen Moffat and Carolyn Skinner, who are the producers, Moffat being head writer, of course. They're going to be showing footage of the new series and what have you. I would imagine a brand new trailer, which should be up online fairly soon after as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if they took Jenna Louise Coleman, with them, who's playing the new companion. So it wouldn't surprise me if they went. She was a surprise guest and they announced the character's name and what have you. So we'll just have to see what comes of that. I've got a feeling. I think it was at Comic-Con when Matt's first series was adjusted. It was. I don't think it had been on yet. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I think it was at a event anyway, like that. We saw the first footage of the Silurians. They were first announced or something like that. So, but I mean, there's rumours going around that we're going to have Ice Warriors in this new series, so expect a confirmation of that possibly.
Cool.
Yes, indeed. Well, that's the end of our comics section. Our special guest who was supposed to be coming on, we still haven't heard officially back off of her yet. This is the point where we were going to have an interview with her, but we're going to bypass that then and go to any other business.
Any other business?
And story I've got on here, the first one anyway, is that well, I mean, how do you even begin to discuss this really?
Probably this.
We the what now?
I said probably this.
What was that?
Face palming.
See, face palming doesn't really work on audio. You tried it last week and it was a bit. So.
Alright, let me try again.
That's better. Right. It says that a culture expert, Professor Ellis Cashmore, an expert in culture at Staffordshire University, has predicted a rise in basically there's going to be a baby boom because of 50 Shades of Grey. Basically, women, lots and lots of women have been reading this book, and basically they go to bed, start reading a couple of pages, and they start getting all gooshy. The husband comes up, or the boyfriend, or whatever, and bow chicka wow wow. So they're expecting in roughly 9 months' time. So what's that going to be? That's going to be March, is it?
Something like that.
Hang on, what are we in now? So March, April, something like that. Yeah, expect to see a shit ton of kids everywhere. The exact quote that we've got here. I don't like reading quotes in a normal voice now after last week. You're gonna have to give me a voice to read it.
It's 50 Shades of Grey, so let's see the most inappropriate voice I can think of. Try your Ed Wynn again.
Okay. With millions of copies sold, it makes complete sense to assume that in 9 months' time we're going to see a baby boom, don't you know? by the very nature of the subject matter, I'm sure we can expect to see some couples revisiting and reigniting ideas that may have lain dormant for some time in the bedroom. It may reawaken passions, or just accentuate the passions that already exist in the relationship. It's a very sexy book, don't you know? It struck a chord exploring the woman's mind in sexual situations from her point of view. Yeah. That's a difficult voice to keep going for a long time.
Yeah, still.
I didn't realise the quote was that long as well. Fuck.
Oh.
It says that members of a maternity website called Baby Center have been praising the book for helping them conceive. So basically, there's women on there basically saying, "I'm pregnant now, and it's because I got gooshed after reading the book."
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
This is me going, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my reaction to this.
I hope that was the rake in the face. I don't want to know what it was otherwise.
Well, of course it was a rake in the face.
Alright.
It was a rake with a hand nailed to it.
Okay. And that's just because you were saying about last week about Liam Neeson's cock getting flopped on my desk, you know.
Well, you were the one who was talking and all of a sudden ka-thunk.
I don't know if it was you getting slapped in the face by Liam Neeson.
No, that'll be... Oh, God, why?
Why would you do that, Neeson?
Because I can, and I will kill you.
And
this version of Liam Neeson is played by Colin Farrell, who wants a fucking costume. And then Colin Farrell can just go a little bit gruffer, a little bit deeper, and you must have friends. I'm Batman.
I don't know. This is why I shouldn't get started on voices, but fuck it, it's funny. Yeah, orangutans.
That's what you are if you read 50 Shades of Grey.
No.
Zing!
Zing! Orangutans is our next story. Orangutans are being taught to communicate with zookeepers at Miami Zoo using iPads.
Why aren't the lazy zookeepers still learning sign language?
No, well, if they spent less time giving iPods to monkeys, maybe they could get out there on the fucking highway and stop people eating each other's faces.
Maybe they could give us iPads.
Yes, Miami Zoo, come and sponsor us and give us iPads. I'm a monkey. And so on.
Hoo-ha!
That was like the shittest ghost talk I've ever heard.
That was a monkey pretending to be a superhero.
Yeah.
That's Rolf Harris.
Yeah, it's Rolf Harris pretending to be a monkey. It's a good thing God guessed.
That's Rolf Harris tap dancing on lava.
Put his feet in the ocean.
Oh, I thought you could say he managed to get to the other side where the toilet was and managed to have a piss. It's like,
Can you tell that I've shit you? Yeah, so the iPads with the monkeys. Yeah, they're giving apes, rather not monkeys. They're giving apes iPads to say what they want for dinner. Basically, you know, if you go into a restaurant or something like that, you have a menu. You say, "I'll have that and that." Yeah. Well, monkeys in zoos, they just get told, you know, you get given the same shit every day, or you know, they just have to deal with whatever they're given. What they've been doing is they've been going onto iPads and putting pictures of food on there, so they'll have something like nuts or grapes or banana or anything like that, and they'll show the monkey the iPad, and the monkey will just go over and poke the iPad and say, "I want that." Essentially, I don't know why they need a fucking iPad. Why they can't they just use, you know, a big fucking piece of cardboard or something with pictures drawn on it?
Yeah.
I could save them tons on their budget by just getting a piece of A4 fucking paper.
And printing pictures of food on it.
You know, if a monkey wants a carrot, you can point at the carrot. If he wants a banana, you can point at the banana. It's not hard. You could train the chimp to do it. You know.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's not rocket science. So, but apparently, that's what they want to do. Now, the next story I've got here is this is tied into something. I want to say Happy 4th of July, belated 4th of July to our American listeners anyway. I hope you had a great time, having your extra day off for no apparent reason. But Americans love their 4th of July celebrations, no more so than in San Diego.
Discovered by the Germans in 1904, they named it San Diego, which of course in German means a whale's vagina.
And they have what they call their Big Bay Boom every year, which is a gigantic firework display that's supposed to go on for about 20 minutes.
Yep.
This year, there was a massive fuck up in the electrical system, and all the fireworks were set off at once. They have 5 boats with fireworks on them. 2 of them didn't work at all, and 3 of them, all the fireworks went off at the same time. Literally, the 20-minute celebration happened in 30 seconds. Yeah. No, I mean, you don't even need to look at the video company in this article on Digital Spy. You can just see the 3 boats. They just look like fucking volcanoes are kicking off.
Yeah.
And apparently they all went off at the same time, and people were waiting around thinking, okay, what comes next? That looked like the finale of a show, and they were thinking, what comes next? And all the police had to come over and say, okay, show's over now, guys, that's it, and told people to leave. So they still don't know what the problem was, but yes.
Yeah, I'm just watching the video. I could hear people going, "Yay!" and then the video just stops.
Yeah, that's the end of it. Yeah. So apparently, people were trying to race out from the because there's fucking thousands upon thousands of people watching this thing, and then once they realise, oh shit, the thing's over, they all start heading to the car park straight away to try and get to another fireworks display, and all get stuck in a massive traffic jam. So no one went anywhere. So unlucky, but hey, at least you got to see some fireworks all at once.
Yep.
The next story I've got is I laughed when I saw this. It says a 3-year-old boy was admitted to hospital this week after eating his grandmother's marijuana-laced chocolate chip cookies.
That's. You see, my reaction was the opposite. I got slightly annoyed.
Why? I mean,
because
don't worry. I mean, if it was my kid, I'd be fucking, pissed off.
Livid.
Yeah. But it's not, so I can laugh.
True, but it's like the grandma should, keep drug-laced cookies out of the way of a child.
Well, we'll still read the rest of the article and find out exactly the cause of said incident. It says that an ambulance was called for the boy after he fell asleep and didn't wake up for 16 hours.
Okay.
It says the boy's grandmother has cancer and was given a doctor's recommendation for marijuana to be used as pain relief. See, you're not feeling like a twat now, or rather you are feeling like a twat now, aren't you? The cookies were stored...
Well, not really. She should still keep it out of the reach for 3-year-olds.
Well, let me finish. The cookies were stored in a garage fridge, and it is believed that the boy wandered into the garage without anyone knowing, so she kept them well out the way. Sergeant Phil Gomez, a spokesman for the case, told the Press Enterprise that it's unfortunate that they didn't take better steps to keep the cookies out of reach of the child.
Ah, see.
So basically he's saying, yes, they were out the way, but they should have been more out the way.
Which was my point exactly.
Sergeant Gomez commented that the grandmother said she would never make the cookies again.
She should just smoke it.
Well, some people don't like to smoke it. I saw a documentary called Super High Me about a comedian in America who smokes weed pretty much on a daily basis, and what he does is he goes through a 30-day detox first, gets it all out of his system, and then proceeds to smoke weed all day, every day for another 30 days. And he goes to visit like weed shops and everything like that, dispensaries as they're called, because weed is legal to sell in LA if you've got a doctor's note, and so you can go in there and buy the actual cannabis itself, marijuana itself, or you can buy like pop brownies, pop cookies already made and shit. You can just go in and buy them.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. So from the reading this article, it looks like that she's actually gone and made the cookies herself, but she could have just gone and bought them. Yeah. There's all kinds of different products you can get. I mean, the guy buys in the documentary. He buys a vaporizer, and he's like, that gets you the highest, the quickest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if I ever tried weed, I wouldn't want to smoke it, because I always said that I'd never smoke anything, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, so...
Well, fair enough. I'm not going to comment either way on it. Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, that's a good film if you want to check it out. It's quite funny.
It's on Netflix, so I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Because he's got a mouthful of spliffs on the cover rather than a mouthful of chips.
Oh, fair enough. Next one I've got is about the boat. It says there was an article. Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Oh, right, okay. It says that a 16-foot fishing boat was advertised as free on the Craigslist website. There was a caveat to that, though. The buyer must rescue it from the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico. A guy called Jack Roberts, who owns the boat, put it up on the website after it capsized around about 2 miles from shore of the Destin Bridge Rubble Reef. The boat itself, he's trying to get rid of it to avoid a salvage fee of $2,400. He's been told that the Coast Guard said to him that if the boat doesn't come out the water, they're going to charge him with a crime, and that anyone could sue him if they actually hit the boat. It says on board there's roughly $2,000 worth of fishing gear and about $800 worth of cash, which you can have if you can get the boat. So it's still unsold and remains in the bottom of the sea. So if anyone wants a free boat, then you know what to do.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Do you know who we should call? Aquaman.
Why? He's shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He is.
No, he isn't.
My fish friends, help me lift this boat. All right.
Well, he could get you the boat.
Oh, well,
and then you'd have a boat. Then you'd have a boat and
I'd have a boat with
pounds of
fuck
cash.
off hole in it.
Yeah, but then you'd also have $2,000 of fishing gear that you could sell
to fix the boat.
And then you'd have a boat.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have any fishing gear, so it'd be pointless me taking it out.
Not really. You could pretend to be a pirate.
I can't drive a boat. I don't know how.
It's easy. You stick it in a water and point it in directions.
It's a little bit more complicated than that, I'll be honest with you.
Well, that's not what it looks like. It's just...
Have you ever driven a boat?
No.
Well, shut up then. How do you know?
I drive a car. It's about the same thing. It just needs more time to stop.
And wheels, rudders, it's all the same.
Yeah. I've driven a land boat before.
A land boat. Right, next story then. It's about a German couple who were on holiday in Italy, and they decided to go for something to eat. So they went to a restaurant, and the waiter comes over and he's like, Madame, Monsieur, what would you like to have for you? And I don't know why I'm doing it in a French accent. I can't do an Italian one. Actually, I could try. Madame, Monsieur, what do you want for your dinner? Go compare.
Jesus, I was going to say, first you just sounded like one of the guys off Tell 'em Steve Dave taking the mick out of Q.
Well, the Italian dude anyway. He goes to the restaurant and says, "What do you want for your dinner? And they said, "We'll have some lobster, please." And they paid €500 for the lobsters, which they then proceeded to put in a box, take outside, and release into the ocean. But the thing is, though, they said like they've got no guarantee that the lobsters aren't just going to be fucking picked up again by fishing vessels and put back in the restaurant. So it's just going to be a waste of money for them, really. It was a waste of fucking money anyway if you're just going to lash it back in the sea.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely fucking stupid.
Although, I do like that news must have been slow when it's like, oh yes, and in the news today, a couple saved lobsters from a restaurant while on holiday. It's like, oh, okay. At least it's not a war.
It's like, I just really don't understand the logic in that. I really don't understand the logic in it. It's not like the lobster's going to come and say thank you, is it? Oh, thank you, you saved me from a life of possibly being eaten. You know.
Aye, but you're forgetting, we were at the beach, everyone was wearing matching towels. Somebody went under a dock and there they saw a rock.
The fuck are you on?
But it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster. Good.
The rock? What do you want to go there for?
Have you not heard the song Rock Lobster?
Rock lobster.
Rock lobster.
Yeah.
What? You don't get that when I first started it.
I don't know the words to Rock Lobster. I'll be honest with you. It's not on my iPod playlist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, I might have to just so I can understand your ramblings one day.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think I read an article like that, kind of, where it was talking about that. Everyone's doing that all the time. That he's buying lobsters and freeing lobsters. Yeah, but last time I read it, they said that the article was saying that they said, oh, we're going to buy these lobsters and we're going to free them, and the guy's like, well, what's the point? And they're like, well, how much is the lobster? And then the waiter looked them right in the eye and said, I need about $3.50.
Oh, fuck you.
And it was then that they noticed that the waiter was actually a 3-story tall monster from the Cretaceous period.
Fuck fucking you.
Why?
I can't believe you got me with a $3.50. Oh, fuck you.
Finally. And I've not bothered for the past, 7 episodes.
Well, my finally is our story for this week, our final story. Now, I saw this a few days ago, and I knew I'd have to bring it up on the show. Is a guy, a filmmaker, by the name of Jeremiah MacDonald. 20 years ago, he was messing around with a video camera, a camcorder, and left a tape for himself. Basically, one half of a conversation. And then he found the tape again 20 years later, and he's recorded the other half of the conversation now as himself.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Now it says, I'll read you the exact. I'll just read you the article. It says here. They can put it into better words than me. Yeah, he's recorded his own responses to make a dialogue. Basically, he was asked on Twitter if the younger boy in the video is really him. He says if he was going to fake it, he would have written it differently, but he was locked into what he improvised 20 years ago. I mean, even at the beginning of the video, you see photos of the kid, and then you see a photo of him every year up until present day now. So it's clearly obvious that it's the same. It's the same guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great video. So I think we should watch it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
do a 50-foot commentary on it.
Yeah, if you want to get your.
I've got it ready already.
Have you got it ready? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay then. Well, in 3, 2, 1. 20 years ago, he left a tape for himself. Sorry, I need to look.
I think I'd like to talk to myself in the future.
Here we go.
Yes, that's something that I'll do.
See, so you can see by these pictures that it's the same guy, just getting older and older. It was a VCR anymore. Jesus.
Well, we do it with my grandma's. Because we've still got all these.
Hello, Jeremiah.
You look different.
No shit.
Yes, I'm 12 years old. How old are you?
32.
Ah.
Yeah.
You look older.
Well, thank you. Older than 32, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, even better. Good.
Goes to show how much things have changed, yes.
It does.
Now look at my hair, now.
Right.
Voice.
Okay.
Getting older, man. Getting older. Get down. Oh, yeah. Me of the future?
Oh, is there more of this? I'm sorry.
So.
God, imagine this. Imagine looking at yourself.
Okay.
20 years ago. That'd be weird.
This is very unusual.
Yes, definitely. Quite cool, you know. now. Here I am on the screen, and here you are. You're right there.
Over here, yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything in particular you wanted to know about?
As far as I can see, is Molly still alive?
Is Molly still alive? No. Dogs don't live that long.
Ah. And what about Leon?
Are all your questions going to be about pets?
Yes.
Well, then the answer is they're all dead. Why don't I ask you some questions?
You already know.
Well, yeah, but
this is
right
crazy.
Before the internet
Good, isn't it?
kind of a blur to me.
What? Things like that shit?
The internet. It's a thing that you'll know what it is in a few years.
You must have had
It's
some
gonna completely
editing
take
to
over
do
your
on
life.
this.
You're going to spend many hours sitting in a room
Yeah,
staring
this
at a
is-
screen.
yeah.
I'm knowing about my own future. That's cool.
Well, I'm glad that pleases you. So, I can't... what do you do exactly?
You know what I like? You're me.
Yeah, but you must have hobbies of some
You're
kind.
interviewing yourself. Look at you. You're.
You left the tape. Don't do the... I'm not...
excuse me.
Oh, charming. No wonder I'm single.
I am too.
Exactly. Because I'm the result of every decision you make.
Well, so are you.
Well, fine.
Well,
Yes, I don't know how I'm supposed to react to that. Okay, so look.
I see Star Wars figure down
Never
there.
mind that for now. What were
Can I
you...
have it?
Dude, you have that one already. It's literally the same one.
Oh, yes. Here it is. I got it right here.
Yeah, except Molly chewed mine, so be more careful with it.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to yourself in 20 years. I'm sorry, Jeremiah. See, I just did it for us.
Very clever, Jeremiah. I'm glad I thought of it.
That's the spirit. Now, what were you doing before you made
This
this
is crazy.
video?
Ah.
He's just arguing with himself, basically.
Yeah, I love the continuity that he kept with
There
the
we go.
figure.
Is that Roy?
Yes. Do you still draw, Roy?
No. I don't draw much anymore. That whole cast of characters. I used to make those flip books. I wanted to be an animator. And then I got lazy and went into filmmaking.
Don't you realize that you're kind of messing up time?
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking out loud.
By the way, you still like Doctor Who?
No. I need to go.
Okay, well.
Just one thing before I go. Don't blink. Blink and you're dead.
What do you mean? What?
No, I'm kidding. It's not. That's going to be hilarious in 15 years. I just turned this off, right?
What about that?
The hell's his problem?
There you go. What do you think of that?
That was pretty crazy.
It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you see his house, basically, with all the empty booze bottles and Doctor Who stuff hanging around, that's just like my house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh.
That was a nice little video that I discovered online this week. I'm sure everyone's been talking about it, but yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't heard of it until you just...
Have you not?
No.
Oh.
So you sent it me in the notes.
No, definitely check that out. I mean, as much as obviously we'll be playing the audio in under this, but go and check out the video itself, because...
Yeah, without us laughing over the top of it.
Yeah, you'll like it. You really will like it. Well, that's the end of the show then.
Apparently.
Yeah. We were supposed to have, we were supposed to be going for a little bit longer today. We were supposed to be having a special guest, but clearly she hasn't turned up. Never mind. Hopefully get her on another time.
Yeah.
Well,
both extra people that we announced.
Yeah, we were supposed to be having Chris on this week. He's dropped out, and because obviously he had a prior engagement that he forgot all about, and we were supposed to be having our other special guest, but we'll try and get her on next week. Hopefully, you never know. In that case, then I better
next week we can record slightly later as well, because
there we go.
It'll be my weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll begin the sign off then by basically saying, once again, you can contact us via Twitter at 50footnerds or via our individual accounts, mine being at Mike G. Bell and these being at Boltzvekstoff. You can email us 50footnerds@gmail.com or catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/attack of the 50footnerds. That's it for this week then. My name's Mike Bell.
I'm Mike Bell from the future.
Geek on!
thing. It's that I'm a human being, and I wanna make sure it's known to all of you that I'm not perfect. So when you're hit by a song from me, I wanna make sure the strike is complete with my specific sentiments and creativity, so that hopefully my audience may consider me to be a rapper who can be himself and fill the demand of fans who want music that they can relate to and understand. I wanna captivate you with songs they're able to love. That's what I think a good artist should be capable of. But when I hear some of these rappers' mouths start running, all they can rap about is how they're gods among men, talking about a life that's too fantastic, and that always made me a little sarcastic, like, oh really? You're the best that no one can defeat? Oh really? You're a gangster and you carry heat? Oh really? You're a drug dealer who doesn't think it's wrong to confess all of your crimes in a song? Oh really? You're a pimp who gets any girl you want? Oh really? You have cash that you like to flaunt? Oh really? You got designer clothes galore? Okay, now tell us something that we haven't heard before. Seriously, who do you think you're impressing? Do you guys really think it's still that interesting? You all sound the same, and so you drown the game in monotony, cause you all wanna copy Biggie or Tupac and see what happens. Now you don't even make the slightest impact when people hear you rapping, cause everyone else is saying the same thing. What makes you any better? And even if someone does let you get a record deal, do you really want your one time to shine to be wasted on creating generic club song number 8,642,359? Alright, fine, but where's the integrity to leave a legacy that'll make you stand out as a hip-hop celebrity? Well, I understand you want to get on the radio, but when I hear the same thing all the time, I just go, oh really? You're the best that no one can defeat? Oh really? You're a gangster and you carry heat? Oh really? You're a drug dealer who doesn't think it's wrong to confess all of your crimes in a song? Oh really? You're a pimp who gets any girl you want? Oh really? You have cash that you like to flaunt? Oh really? You got designer clothes galore? Okay, now tell us something that we haven't heard before. You know what I'm saying? Yo, okay. Now I hope nobody feels disrespected, cause this is not intended to be a diss record. I'm just saying, is this something that hip-hop really needs? Yo, another rapper who just wants to stroke his ego? Honestly, I think in hip-hop there's a majority of rappers who have a complex of inferiority that comes from living in lower-class communities, where self-esteem comes from having the opportunity to clown someone else for not having what they possess, which translates into bragging about how they're the best, and that seems to sell. So if your only way to get profits is by reusing a well-worn topic, then do something with it, flip it, have some wordplay to exhibit, so that when you rap it won't sound so insipid. But if you just want to say what we've all heard before, don't mind me if I start to snore. Oh really? You're the best that no one can defeat? Oh really? You're a gangster and you carry heat? Oh really? You're a drug dealer who doesn't think it's wrong to confess all of your crimes in a song? Oh really? You're a pimp who gets any girl you want? Oh really? You have cash that you like to flaunt? Oh really? You got designer clothes galore? Okay, now tell us something that we haven't heard before.
If you've enjoyed the nerddom in your ears, then please follow us on Twitter at 50footnerds, or email us anything except spam at 50footnerds@gmail.com.
The Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds presents Ghost Hawk, an Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds production. Episode 1, Goodies and Baddies, written by Mike Bell.
Dateline, March 1941. World War II is in full swing. Hitler and his evil league of evil people and naughty men are cutting a swathe through Europe. The French resistance is faring as well as an ice cube in an oven, and jolly old Blighty has had enough. The British Prime Minister, Sean Connery, has called in the most decorated undercover agent in the land for a secret meeting. It is this meeting we join now.
Hello? Yes, send him in. Ah, Special Agent. Hello. Nice to meet you, sir. Shut up, you stupid fuck monkey.
I'm the Prime Minister, and you'd be around to remember it. I hear you're the best when it comes to infiltrating enemy lines.
Well, I've been known to enlist the help of local women in hostile territories.
Ah, yes. The infamous goose technique.
If I may, sir, it's pronounced goosh.
Oh, it came over all sexy then for a moment. Right, well, I've decided. You're going in. We're dropping you in Berlin to take out Adolf himself.
I see.
We have intelligence placing him in a secure facility we're calling Camp Hitler. He's surrounded by henchmen and bodyguards, so it won't be easy.
How do you know all this, sir?
We captured his #1 hitman and personal stripper. He was trying to assassinate me. Luckily, I wrestled him to the ground and shouted out, "I've got sexy hands!"
Sounds like a riveting story, sir.
Indeed. You won't be going in alone. I'm giving you some backup. Say hello to your partner. Michael Winslow.
I did wonder who he was and why he's been stood in this corner the whole time.
It's very nice to meet you.
Michael is the world's greatest mimic. There's not a sound he can't imitate. Michael, tap dance on gravel for us.
Incredible. You'll be the perfect diversion.
Now, to protect your identities, I've come up with a top-secret sexy codename for you.
What's wrong with Tim Price?
Fuck you. It's too boring.
How about 10p Price?
I said no, you bitch. No, the codename I have is perfect. You are now Ghost Hawk.
Thank you, sir. We won't let you down. To the chopper.
Shut the fuck up, Winslow. Save him for the Krauts.
Goosh.
And so, with their mission set, Ghost Hawk and his trusty sidekick Michael Winslow set off for enemy territory. Meanwhile, deep inside Camp Hitler, that bad man Adolf is dining with his cronies.
So I says to him, Gunther, das ist ein grobes.
Oh, Hitler, you can call me Barry, and you can call me Noakes. I love these dinner parties, mainly for your jokes.
Oh, what a wunderbar rhyme, Herr Us. I know a certain lucky you'll be getting Fjorder cuddles tonight. Come? Oh, I said come. What a naughty boy I am. Ja, Captain Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Herr Führer, we have found a spy trying to infiltrate the base. Yeah, guards, bring him in.
Oh, so this is the perfect super soldier the Allies sent to stop me. What have you got to say for yourself, mein prisoner?
Oh boy, it's me, good old Stan Lee, and I've been captured by the Nazis. Thwippity whip.
What is this?
We found him trying to climb the walls like a spider, mein Führer.
Ein spider?
Am I strong? Listen, bud, I've got radioactive blood.
The Amerikaner
Yeah,
hat Huselkuche
he
in die
lost
Tasche.
gold. He's getting away.
Excelsior!
Nein! Nein, 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 nein!
Adolf, if I may.
Achtung, baby!
I was just going to say, I could send out my Tengu warriors to stop him.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea, darling. Thank you.
How did he escape through a window if we are in an underground bunker?
Thank you, Herr Captain.
Yeah, I'll see you at the party, Führer.
And so, with Hitler and his ragtag band of ne'er-do-wells preoccupied with chasing after Stan Lee, Ghost Hawk and his ever-faithful pal Michael Winslow are able to sneak into Berlin undetected amid a bombing raid by the Allies.
Michael Winslow, keep it down. It's bad enough there's bombs exploding all around me. I don't need you doing it in my ear as well.
With the first stop of their journey to beat evil in sight, our mighty heroes head towards a rendezvous with a resistance fighter. What perils await? Find out in the next exciting installment of The Ghost Hawk.
Go!